What do Devontae Adams, George Kittle, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown all have in common? Well, besides being some of the most reliable hands in the game of football, they're also the stars of the new Netflix series Receiver. From the same team that brought you the show Quarterback, Receiver takes you deep inside the huddles, locker rooms, and personal lives of 5 of the best pass catchers and playmakers in the NFL. Catch Receiver now playing only on Netflix.
You are now watching Believe. Do you believe?
All right. Welcome to another edition of the LADE Show. And today, we got a special guest. He's an NBA champion. He's got, in my opinion, the #1 sports podcast in the world. He goes by the name of Matt Barnes. Thank you so much for coming.
Guy. Man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, Will Smith on his podcast,
He did.
my dude.
Yeah,
That's like you. They're like,
That's like, you got tears. And
yeah,
right
like took him over there.
Yeah, but before we get into that, we talk about your career on the court, off the court. Let's talk a little about the Lakers. Rough start, and as they just started, play well again. They ended up blowing a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Tough.
Buzzer beater.
They was up 17.
They were up 17 in the fourth, and they collapsed. So I want to know what your mindset is on what your opinion is on the Lakers right now.
I think they're just learning and going through it. This is a brand new coach, new system, new philosophy. And unfortunately, we live in a day and age where you don't have time to grow and get chemistry and rhythm. They expect it to be like this, particularly because it's the Lakers too. So I just feel like, this team has never been healthy enough to really see what they have. AD and Bron played in, I don't remember how many games last year, but it wasn't a lot. This year they've been in and out. But what I've noticed lately is the greatness of them individually when the other one's not playing.
Right.
You saw AD's run with 30-plus and 15-plus for 3 or 4 straight games. And then Bron blessed San Antonio with 39 and like 7 threes, but AD was out. And when AD was working, Bron was out. So it'll be interesting to see if they can both be on that top-tier level
At the same time?
I feel like Russ buying into his role. I think he's been doing a really good job at what he's doing. They got some role players, Lonnie Walker, Austin Reeves, that are playing well. So I just think this team needs more time. I'm not saying that's going to do anything, but I think before we judge them every single day. You think about Boston last year with Udoka. Boston was terrible last year up until the January point, and I'm not saying this is the same team, but I'm just saying, I say that to say because this is a new staff, so it's new. Again, everything's new. Everything is new, and LO will tell you that shit is hard to do, especially when they're talking about you 24/7, 365. So
you're on the Lakers. You know how it is compared to other teams. It's different. The fans, media.
Winning, I never got a chance to win with these guys, but losing, everything is under the mat. It's bigger. Everything is bigger
under the microscope.
So you know how Laker fans are, where we'll lose one game, the first game of the season, trade everyone.
Yeah,
but it got to a point, we 0-5, losing a bunch of games, and Lamar actually said the Lakers should trade AD, or at least explore it. I said from the beginning, and I want to preface this by saying, I don't think Russ is our problem. I think he's accepted his role and flourished in it, but I think that
he's a scapegoat.
Of course, but I'm saying I think they should trade him because I think they can use him to get valuable pieces back. I think we need LeBron and AD. So what do you think about the Big Three?
It's tough. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be in a rush to make any moves right now, and I don't think they should be. I think they should see what the fuck they have with these three, with Russ buying in his role and AD and Bron being at the
offense
fort.
that they were.
It doesn't.
We don't
flow.
I think we don't have shooters. I think that's the problem.
But that's why everyone has shrunk on them. That's the problem. So they're going to have to be able to be super creative and figure it out. If they can make smaller moves to somehow get shooters, because there's some shooters out there. You know what I mean? I don't think they necessarily have to try to hit a home run with Russ. I would try to, they have some pieces, try to move some pieces to get some shooters. But I like Schroeder. I think Schroeder being healthy is going to help them. Maybe they trade a Pat Bev. With Schroeder coming back, I think, with all due respect, I love Pat Bev, but I think with Schroeder coming back, he could take that starting point guard position, and I know you can get some shooting for Pat Bev. He's still definitely a sought after defensive player, but they just need maybe more. That's just an idea that came to my head real quick after burning one on the way here. But I mean, I just think again they're under a 24-hour, 365 magnifying glass,
and especially got the best player in the world.
Yeah,
so it's just like give us some time, but we don't have time these days.
Yeah, I mean,
time is now.
Like you said, it's right. He said on the last podcast, right now, Lakers got to play like it's Game 7. The playoff starts right now.
They can't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not, with all these new pieces and young pieces trying to fit in and understand. And you can speak to this, like coming in and play. If you're new, how hard is it coming in playing with a superstar? You know what I mean? As for role players, I mean, that's a huge adjustment, too. Now you're playing with two superstars. So you mean, like, obviously these guys are more free and play different. Take the Clippers, for example, last year. How well Ty Lue had them playing with PG and Kawhi out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now they're both back, and all these role players that had elevated roles are having to figure out how do we play with these two stars. So I just think it's gonna take some time, and I'm not even sure if time is gonna make them better, but it's just, to me, we have to hold our judgment until they get some more time together.
Yeah.
I know it's early, but do you think this Laker team will make the playoffs?
I believe in them.
Yeah?
I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but I think they can find enough rhythm. Yeah, fuck it. I think they can make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs.
I think they can make the playoffs.
Come on, they got guard James.
I mean, you say that with ultimate confidence. You don't even know, though. Like, we're like 7
none of us know.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're only 20
God
games.
knows, but they're going to make the playoffs.
We're only 20 games in. It's like I said, I think my biggest thing is, can Bron and AD stay on the court at the same time? Are they really going to go through AD? And if they do, can Bron still, be great night in, night out? Which I believe it can happen, so I think they can.
I think them going through AD is perfect for LeBron. They need it.
But I think
saw it.
AD needs to demand the ball more. Like, he has to, I need it.
Offensively?
I know. Touches, because he'll go through stretches where, and he's talked about it in the media where, he's go through times where I don't get touches. Like, man, fuck that.
Just call for it.
I'm Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to stand in the key for 3
seconds. Maybe he don't know how good he is.
Could be.
So a lot of players don't.
That's been a focal point right now. Yeah. AD's not getting touches.
He needs more touches. Man.
And you see when
I would go in there, cuss the whole locker room out. I don't care who's in there. You know what I mean? Like, everyone knows, and everyone says, hey, the game should go through AD, but he has lapses of where he doesn't touch the ball and get attempts. So part of that is on the team, and part of that's on him for allowing that to continue to happen. Yeah, he's too good of a player.
Past 3 years, it's happened. We're gonna Rob's like, before the season starts, we're gonna run the offense to AD. LeBron, we're gonna run the offense to AD.
When I watch Anthony Davis, I watch like tape of him. I see like top 5 player in the NBA.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that too. I know you said definitely top 5 when healthy.
No question. But I think what takes players, and I don't know AD like that, so this is only a guess, from the talent to up there is their mental approach.
That's the thing.
Key. You saying the same thing?
We play with the greatest mental giant,
assassin,
that has ever played this game, and that's what takes AD's talent to the. We're talking pure talent. Name someone that has more talent than Anthony Davis.
AD is
He'll do everything.
He's 7 feet.
He could be a defensive player of the year. He could be an MVP. He could shoot the 3. He could shoot the mid range. He can get you off the dribble. He could post you up. He could dunk. He could block. I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about?
Yeah, AD is probably more skilled than Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I believe it.
Really?
But Giannis has that different motor and mindset.
So you think AD had Giannis's mind?
Oh, it'd be over. It'd be the best player ever created.
Yeah, one of them.
No, I think hands down. If AD had Giannis's mind and motor, it'd be over. It would be unfair. God knew not to do that, though. It wouldn't be fair. But just off pure talent, Anthony Davis. I mean, name a more talented pure.
I mean, you see it though. Like you see with that stretch
big man
is
only one. There's only one big man that's just talented. Maybe Jokic.
But I wouldn't put him. MVP. There you go.
I wouldn't put his
Anthony
talent,
Davis is
pure
more
talent
athletic.
ahead of now. No.
Anthony Davis more athletic.
I want to shift to Bron because this right now.
God James.
We call him God James. Right now, he is receiving more hate than he ever has as a Laker by far. Every time the Lakers lose, it's LeBron's fault. He's slowing down the offense. He's not playing defense. There's no energy. And I want to know what you guys both think about that because I think it's interesting.
What you think, Lamar?
Well, because he's the best player in the world.
But they never come after. They never come after him though. The Laker fans have never come. The Laker fans have never come after him. Like it's your fault.
I think they always do. I think he's probably been the most criticized athlete in the history of the game, to be honest with you, because it's been a different game.
Social
media has been in it now. Before you would have to read it or
like
see
I'm in your
it.
business in your business.
Now it's
You know what I mean?
it's at that 24-hour news cycle. So I don't.
Got a talented son.
Yeah,
family man.
I'm talking about
different reasons.
I agree with that for sure. When you're possibly the greatest of all time, you're gonna get hate. I'm saying specifically Laker fans.
Yeah, that's Laker fans.
Laker fans are antsy.
They usually they'll ride him. They'll be like, "No, he's the best." Like it's everyone else's fault. They're always going to come after LeBron
think
now.
about how hard it was for Laker fans to accept him. Like, it just.
I mean, I'm a Kobe guy.
It just depends on the day. You know what I mean?
How he came over here, how he got here.
He hears it. I mean, he hears
Wasn't
it.
natural.
But it just.
What do you mean by that?
To some people, you know what I mean? I mean, how do you come get acquired by the Lakers?
They signed him.
You tell me.
I don't know.
He wasn't drafted or anything.
No.
You know what I mean? So he's not like a homegrown favorite.
No.
You know what I mean? So they're going to be a little bit more testy with him as far as winning and losing concerned. And right now, just lost at the buzzer to Indiana.
I mean, it's
Indiana's pretty good though.
Yeah, I mean, mighty, the shoulder to wear the crown. I mean, he's the king. You know what I mean? So it's going to be unfair a lot of the time, and it kind of is what it is. But I think he's found his way to navigate through it. I mean, like I said, it's not new. It's been happening to him his whole life.
Yeah.
And fuck this NBA career, like his whole life, he's been the one. So he's always got hate.
God James.
You mean I believe in LeBron, and you got to think about it now. Like,
how can you not?
He's on the tail end of his career. Like, he's writing his exit from the game. You know what I mean? Like, there's another 2 or 3 years, but he's writing his ending. You saw Kobe write his ending. You saw Mike write his ending. You know what I mean? So I'm a believe in Bron because of his all around game and who he is, but also that he has AD next to him. So. We're gonna see what happens with
I think AD taking over extend LeBron James' career. At least game to game. I don't know how many years he's gonna play.
Do you guys think Bron has won his last ring?
No.
You say no?
Do I think Bron's won his last ring?
Can he win another one?
Yeah.
He's gonna win another one.
He's going to win another one.
You think so? With this team?
I don't know with this team. He might need
James?
He might need an upgrade. You know, he might need another dynamic player.
Here or somewhere else?
Here. Somebody else to put the ball.
I mean, you think about it. If they ride this season out, which you don't want to do, and you don't want to risk, you don't want to take any of his time for granted. They have a max contract coming off the books, so they can get another player next year if they just ride this season out. But like you said, fans want it now. They don't understand the big picture, the strategic. They want to trade around the future first round picks. Because they don't know enough. I mean, I'm not disrespecting fans, but I don't think they know enough about the intricacies of the game. Obviously, this is a fucked up roster.
The business aspects.
This is a fucked up roster. Who built it? You know what I mean? Did Bron and Rich build it, or did Rob Pelinka? There's just so many questions out there that people don't know. So it's just like they're in a hole right now. And again, you don't want to waste a Bron year. But again, if they ride this year out, Russ's deal comes off the books. They got money.
So you got money, so then you gotta go get somebody.
That's what everyone's talking about. The fans, like you just said, they're quick to be like, "Oh, trade our future, trade Russ, and let's go all in right now," because LeBron has very few good years left. But from an organizational perspective, you're trading away your last 2 first-round picks in the next decade.
7 years, 8 years. But I'm not. Like I just said, if this Elo made a great point. I mean, Bron's 3rd year here, right? I mean, you look at the Warriors, and the Warriors are strategically all in for the rest of Steph Curry's career. You know what I mean? I feel like if it was just in that organization is just their home, they're together. They've been on the journey for 11, 12 years. Like, this is new. There's been a lot of shuffling in the Lakers management over the last 5 years. So it's just kind of been it's been an uncertain situation. I think they struck gold. LL could tell you how hard it is to put a team together and win a championship that same year, the bubble championship. They had 2 guys on the roster.
How do you trade that team?
Right. You don't bring back a lot of
If you talk about
all of them,
then you talk about the future.
I mean, they had Dwight, they had JaVale,
so you might as well just do it now.
Caruso,
for LeBron.
THD.
Yeah.
You'd be good for now.
Come on, man.
In a matter of 2 years, the entire roster was wiped except for Bron and AD.
They flipped it. And that team was solid. I mean, you see what Kuz is doing now.
That's probably what the fans want to know.
The Caruso was a crowd favorite.
You feel me?
Yep.
While we out there
now we got
watching
Oscar though.
When we had this.
What's his name? Caldwell Pope hit big shots. JaVale and Dwight played their asses off. Man, they
just traded everybody?
or let them go. Yeah, in a matter of 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's just a tough situation, man. But like I said, I would bet on Bron somehow, some way.
How could you not? Been in the finals how many years?
9 or 10 years.
Some kids kids that watching the NBA the last 9 years, growing up watching him in the finals.
Yeah, there was someone that it was a stat like LeBron's been playing in the league for 20 years and he was playing against a kid that was 19 years old. It was like it's like crazy how long and how he's been dominating his entire career.
It's incredible.
But I want to talk about Darvin Ham because I know you guys are both under him in 2011. Do you think? Well, how do you think he's done so far, given the whole situation, top to bottom?
Well, I think he's done good, being that he hasn't had LeBron and AD the whole time, and the team is still keeping afloat. But I just want to see the way he played the game. I want to see that type of mentality and aggressiveness rub off on his team. I want to see the Lakers play with his type of the way he played the game, and that'll let me know that he's doing a good job of being a coach.
I love what he's done so far. I mean, to me, the biggest thing is he got Russell Westbrook to buy into his role. That wouldn't happen with Frank Vogel. I don't know if there's anyone
that wouldn't happen with anybody.
Yeah, so I'm saying I don't know if there's anyone else that, but talking to Darvin, he had him on the show. Like he went not out of his way because he wanted to do it, but he made sure he made a relationship with Russ. Phone calls, getting together, eating, talking to him, letting him know how important he is to this team, and fuck all this outside noise. And that's saying a lot because these LA, I feel like Russ is probably the most one has got the most legendary player. Like I said, LeBron's probably got the most hate, but someone who of Russell Westbrook's stature has got the most disrespect.
I don't think people really understand what type of player he is.
Incredible.
What he brings to
it's I feel like it's short-term memory.
First bout Hall of Fame.
What he brings to the
average triple-double,
average a triple-double.
For multiple years.
Presses up.
Defense,
every play.
Full speed. Would reconstruct the knees.
Plays with effort and energy every possession.
Every game. I love Russ. I mean, he's a Bruin,
like,
so
what
I
you
love
want him
Russ.
to do? Like,
but it's like, to me, the
he
hate he's got.
He's not a great shooter.
I say all that to say.
He got it fucked up.
But think about when he was in his bag. No one could stop his mid-range. He would get hot and hit threes. Like, Russ was a motherfucker. People are crazy. But anyway, he got Russ to buy into his role, and I don't know if there's another head coach in the league that could have did that. So I respect that. And I think these guys, believe in him. Or at least they respect him. And that's key, to have a respect in the locker room. So they respect him, and again, until they get more time, we're gonna have to wait and see, what this materializes into.
So they just need time together, you think?
Yeah, it's only been 20 games. You know what I mean? In
make it feel like it's
right
10 years, 5 years.
Fire him, trade the team. It's just like it's been 20 games, y'all. But like I said, it's they've set the bar so high.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just a different social media and 24-hour news has made the world different. Everyone is loud. Everyone has a voice, and it's just like you said. What have you done for me now? What have you done for me lately?
Mm-hmm. I like how you bring up 24-hour news because that's really what it is. It's
constant, bro.
And
all of us in here are reporters. You know what I mean? At any point, these two guys could send what we're talking about right now, and that's news.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like it's constant, always. They
information,
need
overload of
about.
information.
Yeah, they need something to talk about around the clock every day.
Yeah, and a lot of recency bias too. In my opinion, I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I work for ESPN, and no matter what, the Lakers are going to be talked about whether they're winning or losing every day, somehow, some way, some kind of reference. You know what I mean? And it's just like that's just what it is when you're that team. You know?
Yeah, I want to talk about both of you guys playing time, career, and stuff. You guys both play for the Clippers and the Lakers, and Lamar told me that it's black and white, like playing for the Clippers, playing for the Lakers. I wanted to get your insight on what it was like being a Laker, especially with Kobe, and then being a Clipper with Lob City.
Kobe.
Nothing like it.
Being a Laker with Kobe and then be on the Clippers, no Kobe.
That, Kobe, but it's just like that team. I mean, when I went there, this team won 2 championships. With L and Powell and Big Bynum, who had 20 cars with all the front seats taken out. He drove from the back seats. You know what I mean? We had a good team. Steve Blake, my little smoke buddy. Me and Steve used to dip up all the time and burned it down. We had a good good, solid team. You know what I mean? But then on top of it, it's just like learning. And for me, being from Cali, I grew up a Laker fan. You know, Showtime, Magic, Worthy, Rambus. You know, the hot tub up in the Forum. You know what I mean? Like that was what basketball was to me. So to have an opportunity to put on that jersey, and then just understand the love that comes with it. You know, I played for a handful of teams, several teams during my career, and I mean that they always talk about, you know, oh, you used to play for the Lakers.
Let's give it up to Matt the GOAT. We went to UCLA and played for the LA Lakers.
Well,
And the Clippers.
I'm a Trojan.
And the Clippers.
I'm a Trojan. I'll clap for the Lakers. I went to USC.
Yeah, no, it's all, you know, the LA love I have is heavy, you know what I mean? And but still there's nothing like being a Laker. But then being a Clipper, I felt like we had a really good Clipper team our first year.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like, I know I did, we took pride in trying to put a team that's been the doormat of the league, you know, on the map. You know, we won the first division title in team history. And I felt like with that team, we should at least play for a title. But we couldn't get out of our own ways. But I enjoyed both experiences, but again, to me, I got a chance to be on that 17 Warriors team, you know, in the midst of their dynasty, and that shit was wild, but still nothing like being a Laker with Kobe.
Yeah. So speaking of 2011, your first year with the Lakers, coming off back-to-back, what happened in the playoffs? I want to get, because I've never brought this up to you. So for both of you guys, like, what happened? I know shit happened with Phil, talking about how he's not coming back. That was in the middle of the playoffs, correct?
Yeah, I don't even know if that really affected us like that. I think we probably, as a group, probably got a little tired. You know, because we went through the wars with Phoenix when we were up 3-1, then getting smacked by Boston, then, you know, beating Orlando, then beating Boston. Then another year.
And I came that last year. You know what I mean? So I came on the tail end. You know, we had a handful. I was trying to bring some new energy, but I don't think fans know. Obviously, you were physically beat, but tell them about how hard, the mental side of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like over.
Consistent years, like it's overload.
Right.
Your mind is fried.
You're done.
You know what I mean?
All it takes is one little. Then the first game we beat in Dallas. Sort of like how that game ended yesterday. Beating them the whole game.
Right. You guys lost by like 2, right?
Then they come
Game
back.
1.
Yeah, and then they beat us and swept us off the court. And Dallas went to go along to win a championship.
That was one of the greatest runs ever. We just spoke about it.
Yeah, that was a tough run. Who Dallas went through to get to their title that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of Phil, what was like the number one best lesson / advice each of you have ever received from him?
Me?
Yeah.
Patience.
Through meditation.
Whatever it takes you to get there. Take your time.
I mean, that comes back to, you know, the fans. Patience. You know what I mean? I think patience, trust. If you get on the court under Phil Jackson, he trusts you out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a lot. Because you see coaches that try to completely control the game, call every play, screaming, running down the sidelines, and that's the way they rock. That's the way they rock. But Phil sat his motherfucking ass on his chair. If he put you in the game, he let you play through mistakes, and if he sang something, he would whistle his fingers, and you know.
I know that whistle.
It was like you said. It's just there's different levels, and you know, Lamar got extended years for it. You know, I got 1 year of it, and. You know, we kind of bonded because he was stepping away because he had, you know, some health issues and, you know, the same health issues that took my mom, you know what I mean? So I went outside the box and kind of, you know, started talking to him, and we start texting back and forth about it and started texting about the games because that was the year I tore my knee. So I was out for like 8 weeks. And we were text after games about, you know, what I saw, what he thought. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? I'm texting with Phil Jackson about Lakers strategy. You know what I mean? And then we're talking about, you know, my experience, his experience, what he's going through health-wise too. And it's just like, damn, this is crazy. You know what I mean? So although mine was a year, like we didn't win, but when it comes just in regards to being coached by one of the greatest coaches of all time and really getting a chance to know him as a person too, that was high up on my list.
I mean, I obviously don't know Phil, but like just the story that people tell about him, it seems
he's
like
extremely relatable. No matter how zen and over there he seems, you know, that he is, he's extremely relatable.
I wish I
love that about him.
One thing I wish I would have got to do, obviously, is win a championship, but also smoke a joint with him. But that's still not out the window.
You can go. He's in Montana, right?
You gotta get him.
You take it out to
You gotta
Montana.
get him on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's close up soon. I just want to. It would be a crime if I didn't bring this up, and you already know what I'm going to bring up. And before every time we have a show, I put out a little area for people to submit questions or topics. The number one thing was the iconic moment with you and Kobe when you're in Orlando and you ball fake. So I know you talk about it 100 times, probably more, but just walk me through that and how it's changed over the years, how you view that play and how it's changed over the years.
It was just, it was a situation where these teams had faced each other in the finals. And, I got to Orlando and we felt like, we had myself, Vince Carter,
Yeah, I was pussy.
and Jason Williams. And we wasn't. That was the problem. Like they thought we were. Like they thought they was just gonna walk all over us. The way Trev was all in Hito's face and other shit. That we was a different team.
Yeah.
We saw that. We saw the way that the Lakers mentally bullied these dudes the year before. So that I've never been about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we was just we had Brandon Bass too. He wasn't about that.
Yeah, he was tough.
So we kind of changed just kind of that mentality, and that was, to me, that was just a competitive game. I think it was like March. It was coming towards the end of the season. We were both having good years. I think the Lakers beat us in LA, and we got them in Orlando. But it was, again, getting a chance to know Kobe. I met him when I was in college at UCLA. He just got to the Lakers, and saw him work out and be on campus and got to kind of know him as a person, and then just kind of knew like he's the bar. So that's I'm gonna look forward to getting a chance to compete against him every night, because to me he's the one, if not the greatest, one of the greatest ever. You know what I mean? So it was just always a challenge for me. Like I want to make him work for everything. If he scores 30, I want to make him take 25, 30 shots. I go to the line.
Matt's the ultimate competitor.
8 to 9 times.
Oh, I know that.
It was just, to me, I just want it easy. You know what I mean? And at the same time, that's what he respected about me, once we became teammates and brothers. But the ball fake, it was just a back and forth. And L, to tell you, like, Kobe is a killer, but also a mental dude. He'll fuck with you and then he'll elbow you in your sternum or hit you here. Or I got a dunk tip on him. That motherfucker elbowed me from, like my nuts to here to up under my chin. And the ref is standing right there and don't say, you know what I mean? So it's just like, so I was on something. It was funny because if you watch our last interview with Cole on All the Smoke, I was ready to fight. Yeah. He laughed. That's where I was going to take it. So, like, the ball fake shit wasn't like, I'm going to ball fake this motherfucker. Like, it never crossed my mind. Right. It just happened. Like, literally, my fucking, he was staring there right in my motherfucking face. I was like, man, fuck you. I want to fight you. That's what I was on, and the ball fake shit happened. But if you look at me, I'm looking at the play develop. Like, I'm not even really thinking too much of the ball fake. I don't know how close it comes until it's all over the news. But it's weird. Like it's been obviously a viral moment and a meme, and
But Kobe, I don't know, but he kind of, I don't know what happened with your relationship after that, but he like respects people that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's
he recruited,
Yeah. That's how I came. Like I said, so I was, some funny shit happened in the Orlando front office. I was told some things that didn't come to fruition. So I'm thinking I'm moving on. So I get a call from Pat Riley, like, hey, we're trying to build something special over here. He kind of let me into what was going on. D-Wade got one of the calls, so I'm thinking I'm going from Orlando to Miami, and this is when they were putting the Beatles together, or the Heatles, or whatever the fuck they were called. But then I get a random call from a number I don't know, and I don't ever answer my phone, ever. And for some reason, I just picked it up, and it was Cole. And we just talked back and forth, and he told me anyone crazy enough to fuck with me is crazy enough to play with me. He's like, do you want to be a Laker? Like, who the fuck is this? Yeah, right. That's all I'm just thinking, and it's just like, I'm like, yeah. And like literally 4 days later, I'm a Laker. So you look back the year before, when like El said, like Cole respects that. Cause, he always had issues with Ron. You know what I mean? So he's just like, fuck, let me.
There's just so many players, that I've seen, like really, really good players that have really good fan bases. That some of them are like top 75. That when it came to playing against my dude, they ain't really played with the same energy and enthusiasm.
No.
Why though?
Because he was built different.
It's almost, I don't know if it was scared. Why would you be scared to play basketball? But
he put
possession from possession to possession. You guard him, I'm gonna guard you. You guard me, I'm gonna guard you.
No, you can't. A lot of people don't leave me. Come back to me. Like you guard me. Nah.
A lot of people not.
He was different.
Built for that.
different. So yeah, it was, and you know, from there we became brothers. You know what I mean? Like he opened up right away. I was surprised. He opened up right away. Like he used to want, like I would, you know, we would fly on trips and be, what you doing? I was like, I'm about to go back to the room and burn. And no, I'm chilling. He's like, let's step out. I'm like, huh? Like he we started going out every once in a while. I remember one time I went out with Milwaukee with Stack when he was playing on the team but wasn't playing, and I told Stack, he's like, yeah, right, he ain't coming. I was like, bro, he wants to go out. Like, I'd rather, we're in Milwaukee, I don't want to motherfucking go out. But sure enough, me and him went out and had a good time and just started vibing. And I had my twins. My twins were young at the time, and from the rip, he was just super dope to them. You know, obviously him being a girl dad, like 2 little boys that loved him to death. He was Uncle Cole from the rip, so he was sending shoes. Literally, they got their last pair of shoes from Cole like 2 weeks before he passed. Like every time a new shoe came out, they'd send the twin shoes. He'd send their basketball team shoes. You know, he was coaching Gege. I'm coaching the twins, and we would talk the night before tournaments because they're all out in Orange County. Like, yo, what time you play? Like, we would play sometimes 2 hours before Gege would play, and he would come and watch the twins.
Wow.
And these little motherfuckers are like 8 or 9. You know, you know what the basketball is at that level. But the fact that he would come out and show that, and we would go to their games, it was just like it was on a different level. So I was just blessed to, in a short amount of time, although it was a long window, a short amount of time, really knowing Kobe and being able to not know Kobe Bryant, the man, not the Mamba, and be able to vibe on that level and can call him a brother. Like that was dope.
That's special. I mean, because he also had a connection with your two twins.
Boys, like literally, when I tell you, like, and it's funny, I had the video I posted on my story maybe like a month ago, but it was like 2 weeks before he passed. He remastered one of his shoes and just released it, and the boys that just got it and their whole team got it like 2 weeks before he passed. It was just like, damn. Like,
he looked
up
up
until the day, yeah. Again, he was one of the superstars. I mean, you see superstars, and everybody's different to each his own. But you know, what superstars are holding like little academies and trying to show the next generation like these are, you know, look at the students under that. You know, Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? Kyrie.
Yeah, that's what I said. He was definitely in a different place in his life because he wasn't really giving away his jewels.
No, not until it was over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He worked my twins out for their birthday. I surprised them for their.
I remember
birthday.
that.
And he made one of them cry, and I loved it. I'm just like, if that ain't a fucking,
No way.
if that's not Kobe. I remember he had me come out. He had me come out to one of his camps in Santa Barbara one time, and it was that summer we got swept by Dallas, and my knee still wasn't feeling right. He's like, we're gonna play 3-on-3. I'm like, cool. I'm thinking it's gonna be nice and easy. When I tell you, Kobe was in Game 7 mode, blocking shots, dunking on the kid, made the kid fall down, hit jumpers, like not letting him get shit off. And I'm over here tripping out. There's probably video. I hope someone has the video. I'm over here tripping out. Like, what the fuck is this dude? Like, I mean, he was going. The kids weren't getting shots off. He's dunking. He made a kid fall. Like, what the fuck? These are like, I think they're like 12 or 13 years old. But there was no mercy. You know, there's no. And that was him, you know what I mean? But you find out once you break the wall down off the court, cool, laugh and talk shit, talk back and forth, talk big shit. You know what I mean? And it's just like he showed the world one side, but if you're lucky enough, you know, like we were to see the other side, man, it was special.
Yeah, and you guys both had a good relationship with Kobe, like brothers. If you can remember, you know, do you have a favorite Kobe story? Because that's another thing. People want to hear these Kobe stories, and you guys were extremely close with him. So if each one of you guys can share one.
Oh, shit.
I think mine would be not even basketball. It would just be something with my kids. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? And you're gonna work my kids out for, you know, an hour. That was special because they were just so blown away by it, and it changed them as kids too. You know what I mean? They always they have their own podcast now, and they refer back to that moment, and it's dope. And then outside of that, I would just say the last time I saw him, you know, people say, you know, we possibly shot his last interview, but it was just, we went out to his office in Orange County, and we went in his office, and he was just so adamant about, you know, I wouldn't say flushing, but he wanted people to forget the Kobe Laker, and he's like, watch these next 20. He wanted people to like respect that business. I've already won Oscars. I'm running a hedge fund, writing books, continuing to take my mentality that I dominated 20 years in sports and I'm taking it to business and I'm aligning myself with people who are smarter than me. And like, you think you saw this basketball player, wait till you see this mind. And he was just so at it, and it was dope because we were just sitting back in his office chilling as he was kind of breaking this shit down. I'm just like, damn, this motherfucker's about to kill business too. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what he always wanted to be the best at whatever he was doing. You know what I mean? And he applied himself, and if he had any holes in his game or any holes in his knowledge, he would read and figure the shit out. You know what I mean? So, again, I just getting a chance to see that side of him. I think that's my favorite moment.
I'm just sitting here thinking about what a blessing it was just to be like around him and have some of that stardust
Rub off on you.
Yeah, rub off on
the
you.
The mind, the mental.
Yeah, that mind, that mental, that work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the mama mentality just rub off on you.
I would go out to Orange County and work out with him, and we would be on the track at 4:30 before the sun comes up.
So every day was like an extreme
and
blessing, really.
After that, in the gym, lifting so hard that I didn't feel like I could lift my arms, and then after that, right to the gym. And that was and I prided myself on working hard. You know what I mean? Like, I always wanted to be one of the most in shape people because I know I can run all day and do this. When I started doing his workouts, I'm like, I see. You know what I mean? I see. Like, I feel like God gave him so much talent, but he didn't take that talent for granted. Like, he thanked God every day for the work he put in on top of the God-given talent he had.
Special. Different.
Yeah.
So I want to shift and talk about All the Smoke because personally, I think it is the best sports, not even sports, the best podcast out right now. And I want to kind of talk about how, you know, you retired from the NBA a couple of years go by, and then you start this podcast, and now everyone knows All the Smoke. It's like
Yeah, man, it's been a blessing. It was lucky. I'd probably say the biggest thing about it was luck. Jack retired like a few years before I did, and I got out, and I have no planning to go in the media at all, like talking. I just felt like I'm cool, don't want to do it. I want to go full-time into cannabis, but then one of my homegirls who's an agent just like, you know, you've always so well-spoken in your interviews, you never thought about doing media. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Because, you know, like, he'll tell you, like, as a athlete, like, you didn't really, there was maybe a couple people you fuck with in the media, but for the most part, you didn't fuck with the media. So I tried it, and I started doing well and started getting positive feedback. And Jack was doing the same thing. And we were at my place up in the Bay, smoking, chilling. And I was like, you know, I was like, we got to do something. What could we do together? You know, what could we do together? And I'm just like, fuck it, let's do a podcast. He was like, what's a podcast? I'm like, I don't know, but I know. And this is 18, it's 2018 maybe, 2017. Well, no, 18. 20, yeah, who knows? But yeah, I was just like, I don't know what it is, but I know we could smoke, we can cuss, and we could drink. You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm ESPN, like, working for Disney. That's a straight line you got to walk. You know what I mean? On air. But I just thought we could be more of us, more real, more transparent. You know, kind of not necessarily have a filter. And I happened to, through a friend of a friend, met a guy at Showtime who had just started. They were starting Showtime basketball. He's like, you got to meet my friend. They're starting this new wing of Showtime. I'm like, Showtime, like the movie channel? They're like, yeah, but they're doing digital stuff now, and it's, you know, this whole content wave. You need to meet him. Met with him at the Lowe's Hotel in Santa Monica. Pitched my idea. No sizzle, no nothing. I'm just like, I want a man cave vibe, being able to smoke, drink, and talk shit, and without making my guests feel like I have a microphone in their face, like forced. Like, I feel like regardless of you're a celebrity or not, like, the best times come when you're watching the game with the homies chilling. I mean, that conversation is legendary on several different levels. So I just wanted to be able to put a camera on that. Really kind of my first time doing any real TV shit, and he bought it. And next thing you know, our first year out the gate, we win Sports Podcast of the Year. You know what I mean? So then from there, just doors started opening, and I was just like, yo, you could really make good money off this shit. Like, I'm gonna learn it. So I started learning the business, and started negotiating deals, and talking to different companies and being able to merge iHeart with Showtime now, so we're paid for our audio and our digital, and just kind of understanding that, although there's a lot of different podcasts out there, like I feel like we kind of set the bar
because it was authentic.
Yeah, with who we are and just what we're about. The guests we've been able to have. Let's really go. Let's try to lead the way. Let's try to, and what I didn't realize, because I wasn't coming in thinking, but how many people had inspired to do it. How many athletes or former athletes or didn't even make it to the highest level, like, Joe, we just love how real you guys are and we appreciate it and we started this and what do you think? And I think that's dope. And that's what we're here for, to inspire, and show people. And I feel like, especially me, like, and even Jack, but to me for sure, like, I was a role player my entire career, and the hustle and grind I put in my post career, like, I've been able to move like you would have thought, like I was a 8-time All-Star, with the amount of, like, the ESPN and Showtime.
You were the Kings.
And the Clippers and, all the shit I'm being able to do. So it's just like, I feel like I'm a more obtainable goal than, like, LeBron and Steph.
Right.
Like, these guys are, they're different. So just like, I want to show people, man, like, anybody could really do it if you get your grind on. And luckily that has inspired people, and we continue to climb.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan speaking, those are the podcasts that we want to hear. You, JJ Redick, Draymond, some people that have actually been in the game.
Yeah, and to humanize, I think we have a way of, we had Lamar, but I feel like Lamar knows that I'm not on no bullshit. I'm not going to ask none of that.
You're not baiting people.
Yeah, I don't want to go viral for the wrong reason. I want people to go viral for learning more about Lamar, and it's special for me too, because most of these people are my friends, so I get to see a deeper side of them.
Right.
But I also get a chance to humanize them. Like, he feels comfortable enough to share shit with me that he wouldn't necessarily say to no one else. Like, my favorite thing on our show is, like, man, I've never said this to nobody. I mean, that means I've done my job as a host, making you feel comfortable enough that you feel like
open up.
There's no cameras there.
Right.
Like, damn, I'm just telling you this, and especially with that, the Will Smith, we were so blessed to get Will Smith.
That's crazy.
We're dropping that, but how open and transparent he was. Like, he laughed, he cried, he talked shit, he told jokes, like, and that was my first time meeting Will Smith.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I just felt that, he told us he'd watched the show and he felt comfortable enough to be able to let his guard down. And I mean, that's the top of the mountain right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially after everything he's been through. So it's just like, I think, we try to create a vibe every show. We want you comfortable. People come, we listen to music, depending on where we're at, we could have a drink, smoke, and just get comfortable and instead of just jumping right in. And I just think, like, that combination has been successful for people to kind of really feel like they can come and just have a real conversation, like there's no cameras there.
Right. And it clearly shows.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Appreciate that, man.
So let's finish it off with 4 quick hitters. Just like it's not like a long answer for both of you guys. First question: who was your toughest defensive matchup?
Kobe.
Well, who guarded me the best, or who was hardest to guard?
Hardest to guard. You said Zebo, right?
Yeah.
He was a problem, non-jumping ass. I mean, I was lucky. I got a chance to guard
Him and Dirk.
Cole, Bron, Melo, Ginobili, D. Wade, Paul Pierce, T. Mac, Ron Artest. I had to switch on this motherfucker. Like, I just had, and I loved it because, like I said, I'm a defensive-minded type, football, physical type player. So I just like the chance to get to guard the best players in the world every single night. Like, that shit was dope to me.
That was both of you guys.
Yeah.
Dope to me.
Favorite NBA moment? Start with Matt.
My favorite moment was my kids getting to experience me winning a championship with Golden State. Like, Coach Kerr, the Warriors, hats off. I'm showing them love, but let them travel on the team plane. They're in practices. They're staying in the hotel. They're eating with us. They're watching film. They're shooting with Steph and KD in the Western Conference Finals after practice.
Wow.
Like, so they're on the fucking stage when we get the trophies, and these old motherfuckers are trying to get the trophies from Steph and KD. It's just, for 8-year-old kids to be able to experience that, man. And then I got them championship rings, too. I definitely say that's my favorite NBA moment.
Hello?
6 Man of the Year award.
I don't think people remember how fucking good this dude right here was.
6 Man of the Year award. I appreciate that, man.
Nah, but for real, but like you were a 6'11" dude from the rip that could do everything. Like one of the first big guys that could really handle the ball like a guard. You know what I mean? And his ability to do all that shit was...
That's real shit. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Nah, like, you was a motherfucker, bro.
2 more.
6, man, that's dope.
Does Dwight Howard fall into your top 75?
No question. Prime Dwight Howard?
100%.
Fucking joke.
See him killing over in Taiwan.
Yeah. But I'm talking about...
Yeah, he definitely a goat.
I've never felt more comfortable playing defense. With all due respect to playing defense with Kobe and Ron Artest,
Yeah.
I never felt more comfortable guarding my guy than I did with Dwight.
Because you know he
Because
was
I knew
back
if
there.
they happened to get by me and I beat them up and they still got by me,
He was cleaning it up.
Dwight will block that shit or he'll hard foul people too. Like Dwight was a big buff smiling motherfucker, but Dwight will put his forearm, in your chest.
He was
And,
physical enough.
Man, but he could have been more physical too.
Yeah.
Imagine that. But
Probably with the ball, he could have been more physical.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, easy call. Dwight Howard, easy. And I think he's more in the middle of the list. I don't even think he's at the back end of the 75 list.
I
With all
agree
due
with you.
respect, I think he's move him more towards the front.
I agree with you. And I'm not gonna name names, but there's guys that Dwight Howard is clearly better than that are in the top 75. So
And you never
it's
want
just
to
like,
disrespect nobody that
no.
who's on that, but there's definitely. I mean, you think about him, Vince, T-Mac. There's some guys that miss the top 75 that are like, huh? Oh, we watched the same game. What's fucked up is it's people that never played the game that are making the majority of these decisions instead of guys that played,
Right.
and really knew what it was like. Like you always see Kobe, like, oh, Kobe's not in my top 5, or Kobe's not in my top 10. But those are always like analysts or reporters. You ask motherfuckers who played against them or with them, it's a whole nother story.
That was actually the last question.
What, top 5
Top
all
5
time?
all time.
That's so hard.
My top 5 all time: MJ, Kobe, LeBron, Magic, Shaq.
I like that a lot.
Shaq got in there.
Who's yours?
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, LeBron James.
That last spot's a motherfucker, boy. You got Hakeem out there. You got Bird out there. You got Wilt out there. You got Bill Russell out there.
Wilt Chamberlain. I'm going to go Wilt Chamberlain. Over
you got-
Shaq. That's so hard. I'm just like,
Yeah.
It's hard.
depends on who,
Right.
when.
How I'm feeling?
Does it matter?
No.
No, that's for the fans, you
That's
know.
for the fans?
They just want to.
So many people great in their own way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people are great in their own way.
I had a great time. This was actually our first guest of the LADE show.
Thank
so
you,
I just
man.
want to say thank you so much,
Come on,
Matt,
man.
for coming out.
We had to do it. I seen Elle in the McDonald's line the other day. And I knew it.
Yeah.
We had already been talking back and forth. I was like, I just seen this motherfucker. I got to do the pod. Let's
Fact.
go do
Yeah.
it.
And congratulations on everything that's going on for you,
Man, thank you very
podcast,
much.
and
Appreciate
yeah,
that.
it's amazing. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for watching Believe. You can find more great content at Believe.com. That's BLEAV.com. Do you believe?
What do Devontae Adams, George Kittle, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, and Amon-Ra St. Brown all have in common? Well, besides being some of the most reliable hands in the game of football, they're also the stars of the new Netflix series Receiver. From the same team that brought you the show Quarterback, Receiver takes you deep inside the huddles, locker rooms, and personal lives of 5 of the best pass catchers and playmakers in the NFL. Catch Receiver now playing only on Netflix.